The scent of Dad's cologne still lingers in his study, a ghost of sandalwood and citrus that makes my heart ache. I run my fingers along his leather chair, half expecting him to walk in with his warm smile and terrible dad jokes. But he won't. Not anymore. My name is Mary, and today I buried my father. You're still in here? My mother's voice cuts through the silence, sharp as broken glass. She stands in the doorway, her black dress pristine, not a hair out of place even after the funeral. Just remembering, I say, pulling my hand back from Dad's chair. Remembering what? A lie? She laughs, but there's no humor in it. The sound makes my skin crawl. Oh, Mary, always Daddy's little girl, weren't you? Mom, please, not today. When then? When is the right time to tell you that the man you're mourning isn't even your real father? The world stops. My lungs forget how to work. What? You heard me. She steps into the study, her heels clicking against the hardwood floor. David wasn't your biological father. There, now you know. You're lying. The words come out automatically, but my voice shakes. Am I? Why do you think he left everything to me? Why do you think there's nothing for his precious daughter in the will? I grip the edge of Dad's desk to steady myself. He wouldn't. He loved me. Oh, he did. More than he should have, considering. She picks up a framed photo of Dad and me at my college graduation. Such a noble man, raising another man's child. Though I suppose guilt does strange things to people. Guilt? What are you talking about? She sets the photo down with deliberate care. That's not your story to know, but the inheritance, that's mine. All of it, as it should be. Something catches my eye. A corner of paper peeking out from Dad's suit jacket, draped over his chair. Mom follows my gaze and moves toward it, but I'm faster. Give me that, she snaps. No. I clutch the envelope to my chest. This was Dad's. Everything of his is mine now. Not this. I back away, my heart pounding. Not his letters. Sophie appears in the doorway, her face concerned. Mary? The guests are asking about you. We're done here anyway, Mom says, smoothing her dress. Aren't we, Mary? I say nothing, watching her leave. Sophie stays, her presence a comfort I desperately need. What happened? She asks softly. She says, my voice breaks. She says Dad wasn't my real father. Sophie's eyes widen. What? That's crazy. Look at your graduation photo. You have his smile, his eyes. Do I? I look at the photo again, searching for the resemblance I'd always taken for granted. I don't know what's real anymore. The letter. Sophie nods toward the envelope in my hands. What does it say? With trembling fingers, I open it. Dad's familiar handwriting fills the page. My dearest Mary, if you're reading this, then your mother has probably told you everything, or her version of it. But there's so much more you need to know. About your true inheritance, about why I had to protect you this way. There's more, I whisper, flipping through several pages. So much more. Mary! Mom's voice echoes from downstairs. The lawyers are here. I quickly fold the letters and slip them into my purse. Sophie squeezes my hand. Whatever she said, Sophie whispers, your dad loved you. I saw it every day. I nod, fighting back tears. And I'm going to find out why she's trying to erase that love. The letters feel heavy in my purse, weighted with secrets. Dad always said truth was the greatest inheritance he could give me. Now I wonder if he knew just how valuable that inheritance would be. Sophie's apartment feels like a sanctuary after the suffocating atmosphere of the funeral. We sit cross-legged on her living room floor, Dad's letters spread before us like pieces of a puzzle. Start with the first one, Sophie says, handing me a steaming mug of tea. My hands shake as I unfold the earliest dated letter. My dearest Mary, I read aloud. There's a fortune your mother doesn't know about. One I've built for you, piece by piece, over the last 30 years. Sophie leans forward. What? I knew the day would come when the truth would surface. I continue reading. But what matters isn't blood. It's the love we shared. The trust fund I've created is yours. hidden where Valentina can never touch it. Holy shit! Sophie whispers. The doorbell rings, making us both jump. Sophie peers through the peephole and turns to me, her expression worried. It's your mother. Don't answer it. Mary! Mom's voice carries through the door. I know you're in there. We need to talk about those letters. I gather the papers quickly, stuffing them into my purse. How did she know I was here? Mary, don't be childish, Mom calls out. Open this door right now. Sophie's phone buzzes. She glances at it and frowns. Gary, your dad's lawyer is calling me. Don't answer. Something's not right. The pounding on the door gets louder. This is ridiculous, Mom shouts. You're acting like a teenager. I pull out the next letter, scanning it quickly. My breath catches. Sophie, look at this. Account numbers, passwords, instructions. Mary! Sophie's voice is urgent. There's an email from Gary. He says the letters were stolen from your dad's office before he died. He needs them back immediately. Stolen? That's impossible. They were in Dad's jacket, which your mother could have planted, Sophie points out. The pounding stops. Mom's voice comes again, softer now. Fine. But remember this, Mary. Those letters aren't what you think. Ask yourself why David would hide money from his own wife. Ask yourself what kind of man does that. Her footsteps fade away. I pull out another letter, dated just 2 months ago. The safety deposit box at First National, I read. Box 23117. The key is where we always kept our secrets. The treehouse, Sophie and I say simultaneously. Your dad's old camera equipment is still up there, Sophie adds. You used to hide your diary behind it. I'm already grabbing my coat. I have to go there now. Wait. Sophie grabs my arm. What if your mom's watching the house? Then I'll need a distraction. I pull out my phone and dial a number I haven't used in years. Cassandra, it's Mary. I need a favor. 20 minutes later, I watch from behind Sophie's car as Cassandra pulls up to my childhood home. Mom emerges immediately. They've been rivals in local politics for years, and Mom can't resist a confrontation. Now's our chance, Sophie whispers. We slip through the back gate while Mom's voice carries from the front yard. How dare you show your face here today? The old oak tree still stands proud, our childhood fortress nestled in its branches. I climb up, my heart racing. Behind the dusty camera equipment, a small key glints in the fading light. Got it, I call down to Sophie. A car door slams. Mary! Mom's voice rings out. Get down from there this instant! I pocket the key and descend quickly. Sophie grabs my hand and we run. Mom's angry shouts following us down the street. Back in Sophie's car, I clutch the key, my mind racing. First National opens at 9 tomorrow. I'll drive, Sophie says firmly. You're shaking. I nod, pulling out the last unopened letter. A single line catches my eye. The truth about your birth is in that box, Mary. And it's not what your mother thinks it is. The bank's marble floors echo under my heels as I follow the manager to the safety deposit vault. Sophie waits upstairs, keeping watch for Mom or Gary. My fingers tremble as I insert the key into box 23117. Take your time, the manager says, leaving me alone in the private viewing room. Inside the box, I find a thick manila envelope and a smaller white one. The white envelope has "Read First" written in Dad's handwriting. I tear it open. My dear Mary, if you're reading this, you've found the key. What's in the manila envelope will change everything. But first, you need to speak with Gary. Show him this letter. Only this one. He'll know what to do. My phone buzzes. Sophie. Gary just walked in, coming your way. I quickly photograph the contents of the box, then return everything except Dad's letter. Footsteps approach just as I lock it. Mary! Gary stands in the doorway, his usual polished appearance somewhat disheveled. We need to talk. About the stolen letters that weren't actually stolen? He winces. I can explain. Go ahead, I cross my arms. Explain why you lied. Your mother. He glances over his shoulder and lowers his voice. She's been making threats about exposing certain irregularities in your father's accounts. What irregularities? The trust fund he created for you. It wasn't exactly legal. I pull out Dad's letter. He told me to show you this. Gary reads it, his face paling. Where did you find this? Where Dad left it for me, along with proof of everything else. Everything? His voice cracks. Everything. I'm bluffing, but he doesn't need to know that. He sinks into a chair. Mary, listen. Your mother doesn't just want the money. She wants to destroy your father's reputation. She has documents, fabricated ones, suggesting he embezzled millions. How? And you're helping her? After 20 years of being Dad's friend? Friend? He laughs bitterly. I was his partner. We built that company together. But your mother, she has dirt on everyone. The vault door opens. Sophie bursts in. Mary, your mom's here. Perfect timing, a cold voice says. Mom stands behind Sophie, Philip from the board of directors at her side. Hello, darling. Found anything interesting? Just the truth about who my real friends are. I look pointedly at Gary. Friends? Mom laughs. In business, there are only allies and obstacles. Right now, you're being quite an obstacle. The documents are safe, I say. Try anything, and they go public. Bluffing was never your strong suit, dear. She turns to Philip. Check the box. That's illegal, I protest, as Philip moves toward the vault. So is stealing corporate documents, Mom counters, which is what you did last night. Actually, Sophie speaks up, her phone recording everything. Mary accessed her own safety deposit box with a legitimate key, unlike what you're attempting right now. Mom's composure cracks slightly. Philip, wait. But he's already opened the box. His face falls. It's empty except for, this isn't what we need. Looking for something specific, Mom? I ask sweetly. Something about Dad's embezzlement? Or maybe about my real father? You have no idea what you're dealing with, she hisses. Maybe not, but I know someone who does. I pull out my phone and show her the screen. Cassandra says hi. She's very interested in those documents you showed her last year, the real ones. Mom's face goes white. You're bluffing. Want to find out? I move toward the door. I have a meeting with her in an hour. Mary, she calls out as I leave. Don't make me your enemy. I turn back one last time. You did that yourself, Mom. 20 years ago. In the parking lot, Sophie grabs my arm. That was intense. But what documents was Cassandra talking about? No idea, I admit. But Mom's reaction tells us they exist, and now we know exactly who to ask about them. Cassandra's office is exactly what you'd expect from a cutthroat political consultant, all glass, chrome, and power. She gestures for me to sit while Sophie paces by the window. So, Cassandra says, you finally want to know what your mother's been hiding. You could have told me years ago. Would you have believed me? She pulls out a thick file. Your mother was very thorough in discrediting anyone who tried to warn you. Like when she convinced everyone you embezzled from the charity board? Precisely. Cassandra slides the file across her desk. Your mother didn't just lie about your father. She lied about everything. I open the file. The first document makes my heart stop. This is a DNA test? From 20 years ago. Your father ordered it secretly. But Mom said, your mother's been lying. David was your biological father. Sophie stops pacing. Then why pretend he wasn't? Because, Cassandra leans forward, if you believed you weren't his daughter, you wouldn't look too closely at the real secret. What happened to his company? My hands shake as I read further. The company was supposed to go to Dad's brother. Until he died in that convenient accident. Cassandra's voice is hard. Along with all the original ownership documents. Mom wouldn't she? Ask yourself why she married David just 2 weeks after his brother's death. A knock at the door interrupts us. Cassandra's assistant pokes her head in. Ms. Murray, there's a Philip Oliver here demanding to see you. Right on schedule, Cassandra mutters. Mary, there's a back exit through my private office. Take the files. Sophie can create a distraction. Sophie grins. Finally, my theater degree pays off. I slip into Cassandra's private office just as Sophie's dramatic sobs echo from the reception area. "How could you?" she wails. "After everything we meant to each other, Philip." Through the crack in the door, I see Philip's confused face. "What? We've never— Don't pretend you don't remember Paris." I clutch the files to my chest and ease out the back door, trying not to laugh at Sophie's performance. In the parking lot, my phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. "Meet me at the old factory. I have what you need." G. Another text follows. "Don't tell anyone. Your mother has people watching Cassandra's office." I text Sophie. "Got out safe. Going to run an errand." The abandoned factory at the edge of town looms against the darkening sky. Gary's car sits in the empty lot. He steps out as I approach. "Did anyone follow you?" "No. What's this about?" He pulls out a USB drive. "Everything your father couldn't tell you. Financial records, emails, security footage from the night his brother died." "Why help me now?" "Because your mother just tried to frame me for the embezzlement. She's turning on everyone." A car engine roars to life behind us. Headlights flood the area. "Get down!" Gary shoves me aside as a car speeds past, missing us by inches. I scramble up, heart pounding. "Was that— Philip?" Gary's voice is grim. "Your mother's attack dog." "He tried to kill us." "No." Gary helps me up. "That was a warning. The real threat's coming." My phone rings. Sophie. "Mary! Your mom just left Cassandra's office. She was smiling. That's never good." "Get to my apartment," I tell her. "We need to go through these files now." "Be careful," Gary calls as I leave. "Your mother's not the only one with secrets." In my car, I examine the USB drive. A small note is wrapped around it. "David wasn't just protecting you from your mother. He was protecting you from what she made him do." The engine starts with a quiet purr, but I can't shake the feeling that somewhere in the darkness, another pair of headlights is waiting to spring to life. Thunder crashes outside my apartment as Sophie and I pore over the files from the USB drive. Rain lashes against the windows, matching my darkening mood with each new revelation. "Look at this!" Sophie points to an email chain. "Your mom blackmailed the board members, every single one. And Dad knew?" The betrayal tastes bitter. "He was gathering evidence." Sophie scrolls further. "These timestamps. Mary, he was building a case the night he died." A sharp knock at the door makes us both jump. Through the peephole, I see Philip, soaking wet and looking desperate. "I know you're in there," he calls out. "Please, your mother's gone too far." Sophie raises an eyebrow. "The same guy who tried to run us over?" "I have proof," Philip continues. "About your father's death. It wasn't natural causes." My hand freezes on the doorknob. Sophie grabs my arm. "Mary, don't!" But I'm already opening the door. Philip stumbles in, his suit dripping on my floor. His lip is split, eye swollen. "What happened to you?" I ask. "Your mother." He pulls out his phone. "She ordered me to delete security footage from the night your father died. I kept a copy." "Why help me now?" "Because she just tried to have me killed." His hands shake as he pulls up a video. "Watch." The footage shows Dad in his office, arguing with Mom. There's no audio, but their body language is clear. He's pointing at documents. She's becoming increasingly agitated. Then she leaves. Minutes later, Dad clutches his chest. "He called for help," Philip says quietly. "She was right outside. She heard him." "And did nothing," I finish, feeling sick. "There's more." He swipes to another video. This is from earlier that day. The screen shows Mom in a parking garage with a man I don't recognize. Money changes hands. Then a small vial. Sophie gasps. "Is that—" "Your father's heart medication was tampered with," Philip confirms. "I found the proof today. That's when she sent her new associate after me." My phone buzzes. A text from Gary. "Don't trust Philip. He's working both sides." "Why come to me with this?" I ask Philip, moving subtly toward my kitchen counter. "Because—" He glances at his phone. "Because you deserve to know." Another text from Gary. "He's stalling. Get out now." The truth is, Philip steps closer, Your mother wants everything handled quietly. She's offering you a deal. A deal? I laugh bitterly. After she killed my father? Think about it. Half the company, no questions asked. All you have to do is destroy the evidence. Sophie's phone chimes. She reads it and drops her wine glass. The crash makes Philip jump. Sorry, she says, backing toward the door. So clumsy. I'll get paper towels from my car. Don't, Philip starts, but Sophie's already gone. Through my window, I see cars pulling up outside, men in dark suits stepping out. How long were you supposed to keep me talking? I ask, gripping the counter behind me. Philip's face hardens. Long enough. Don't make this difficult, Mary. Your mother always wins. Not this time. I grab the knife from the counter and run. Stop her! Philip shouts. I burst through my back door just as Sophie pulls up in her car. Get in! Tires screech as we speed away. In the rearview mirror, I see Philip arguing with the men in suits. Where to? Sophie asks. I pull out the last unopened letter from Dad. There's one place Mom would never look. The cabin where Dad taught me to fish. The one upstate? Yes. I unfold the letter. Dad's last message says there's a safe there, behind the old fishing photo. What's in it? I don't know. Lightning illuminates the road ahead. But it's the one place Mom never visited. She hated it there. Perfect hiding spot, then. I nod, watching the city lights fade behind us. Dad always said the best secrets are hidden in plain sight. Let's see what other surprises he left for us. The cabin's musty air hits me as I push open the creaky door. Everything's exactly as I remember. Dad's old fishing rods in the corner, the worn plaid couch, even the stack of board games we used to play during storms. The photo should be here, I say, moving toward the stone fireplace. A floorboard creaks behind us. Sophie and I spin around to find a young woman standing in the doorway, pointing a flashlight at us. Who are you? She demands. This is private property. I'm Mary. This was my father's cabin. The woman lowers her flashlight. David's daughter? I'm Sydney. He helped me once. What do you mean? Sydney steps inside, closing the door. Your father found out my company was stealing from employee pensions. He helped me expose them, protected me when they tried to silence me. When was this? 3 months ago. He mentioned you, said you'd understand about doing the right thing, no matter the cost. She pulls out an envelope. He left this with me. Said if anything happened to him, I should wait here every Thursday night until you came. My hands tremble as I take the envelope. Inside is a single page. Mary, if Sydney's giving you this, I'm already gone. What you'll find in the safe isn't just about our family. It's about everyone your mother has hurt. The choice of what to do with it is yours. But remember, revenge destroys both the victim and the victor. The safe, Sophie reminds me gently. I move to the fishing photo, lifting it carefully. The wall safe behind it is small but modern. The combination comes to me instantly. The date Dad first brought me fishing. Inside lies a thick folder and a USB drive labeled Insurance. Those documents, Sydney says, they're about more than just your mother's crimes, aren't they? They're about everyone who helped her. I scan the papers. Board members, politicians, judges. She has dirt on all of them. And they have dirt on her, Sophie adds, reading over my shoulder. Mutually assured destruction, Sydney nods. That's how corruption works. My phone buzzes. A text from Cassandra. Your mother's called an emergency board meeting for tomorrow morning. She's going to pin everything on your father. We can stop her, Sophie says. With these documents, we destroyed dozens of people, I finish. Some probably innocent. Like the employees at my company, Sydney adds quietly. When the scandal broke, many lost their jobs. Their lives were ruined. I think of Dad's words about revenge. There has to be another way. Maybe there is. Sydney pulls out her laptop. I work for a whistleblower protection organization now. We have channels, ways to expose corruption while protecting the innocent. How long would that take? To do it right? A few weeks? To do it your mother's way? We could burn it all down tomorrow? Thunder crashes outside, and suddenly I'm 8 years old again, sitting with Dad as he teaches me to tie fishing knots. Patience, kiddo, he'd say. Rush it, and everything tangles. Take your time, and you'll catch something worth keeping. We do this right, I decide. Not for revenge, for justice. Sophie squeezes my hand. Your dad would be proud. My phone buzzes again. Mom. Last chance, Mary. Tomorrow's meeting will determine everything. Choose your side wisely. I look at the documents, then at Sydney and Sophie. Mom wants a show tomorrow? Let's give her one, but not the one she's expecting. What's the plan? Sophie asks. I pull out Dad's final letter. We use Mom's greatest weapon against her. Which is? Sydney leans forward. The truth. I start sorting the documents. But first, we need to make some calls, starting with everyone on this list who might be tired of living under my mother's thumb. Outside, the storm begins to fade, and for the first time since Dad's death, I feel his presence. Not in grief or anger, but in purpose. Tomorrow, we set things right. The boardroom falls silent as I walk in, 15 minutes late to my mother's emergency meeting. Every head turns, including Mom's, who stops mid-sentence at the podium. Mary, she says smoothly, how nice of you to join us. Sorry I'm late. I was just finishing some interesting phone calls. We're discussing serious allegations about your father, she continues. Perhaps you should leave? I smile, taking a seat. No, I think I'll stay. Please continue telling everyone how Dad embezzled money. She narrows her eyes, but returns to her presentation. As I was saying, the evidence clearly shows. The boardroom door opens again. Cassandra walks in, followed by Sydney. What is this? Mom demands. Your presentation's missing some key points, I say. I brought help to fill in the gaps. This is a closed meeting. Really? I look around the room. Then why is Jason from the SEC here? All eyes turn to the man in the corner, who suddenly looks uncomfortable. And Maria from the Justice Department? I continue. They seem very interested in today's discussion. Mom's composure cracks slightly. This is a private company matter. Nothing stays private forever, Mom. Isn't that what you taught me? The door opens again. Philip enters, his face still bruised. You're not welcome here, Mom snaps. Actually, Philip says, as a key witness in a federal investigation, I am. I stand up, walking to the front of the room. Everyone here has been living in fear of my mother. She has dirt on all of you. But what you don't know is that she's been working with federal agents for months, preparing to sacrifice you all to save herself. Murmurs ripple through the room. Mom laughs, but it sounds forced. Ridiculous. Is it? I plug a USB drive into the presentation computer. These are recordings of your meetings with Agent Torres. You offered everyone in this room as bargaining chips. The screen fills with surveillance photos, recorded conversations, bank transfers. That's enough. Mom slams her hand on the podium. No, it's not. I turn to the board members. You all have a choice. Continue following my mother and go down with her, or help us make this right. They'll all go to jail, Mom hisses. No, Sydney steps forward. We've worked out a deal with the SEC. Anyone who comes forward voluntarily gets immunity. The whistleblower program protects them. You're bluffing. Like you were bluffing about me not being Dad's daughter? I pull out the DNA test. Or about his brother's accident? Or about what really happened the night Dad died? The color drains from her face. Philip, I nod to him. Show them the security footage. Don't you dare, Mom threatens, but the video plays. The board watches in horror as the scene unfolds. The argument, the bribe, the tampered medication, Dad's final moments. You killed him, someone whispers. He was going to destroy everything, Mom says, her voice shaking. He was weak. No, I counter. He was strong enough to sacrifice everything to stop you, and now we're finishing what he started. The boardroom doors open one final time. Federal agents enter. Valentina, one says, we need you to come with us. You'll all regret this, she snarls as they lead her away. Every one of you. No, Mom, I call after her. The only regret is that I didn't see who you really were sooner. The room erupts in chaos. Board members rushing to make deals, lawyers making calls, reporters already gathering outside. Sophie appears at my side. You did it. We did it, I correct her, watching through the window as Mom's taken to a waiting car. But this isn't about revenge anymore. Then what is it about? I think of Sydney, of all the others my mother hurt. It's about making things right. Dad's legacy wasn't the company or the money. It was showing us that one person's courage can change everything. Speaking of change, Cassandra joins us. The board's waiting to hear your plans for the company. I take a deep breath, straighten my jacket, and turn to face my father's legacy and my future. The morning sun streams through Dad's study window as I clear the last of his books from the shelves. Sophie sorts through photographs while Sydney reviews applications for our new Whistleblower Protection Foundation. Found another one. Sophie holds up a photo. You and your dad fishing. I take it, smiling at our matching sunburned noses. He taught me patience that day and how to stand my ground. Speaking of standing ground, Sydney looks up from her laptop. The first case for the foundation just came in. A pharmaceutical company bearing evidence of harmful side effects. Take it, I say. That's exactly what we're here for. The doorbell rings. Cassandra enters, holding a newspaper. Have you seen this? The headline reads, Former CEO Valentina pleads guilty, faces 20 years. She took the deal? Sophie asks. Full confession, Cassandra confirms. She's naming everyone involved in the corruption network. I set down the phishing photo. Good, the truth finally comes out. Mary? Gary appears in the doorway, looking uncertain. There's someone here to see you. A small woman steps into the study. Her hands tremble as she clutches her purse. I'm Patricia, David's sister-in-law, your aunt. The room goes quiet. I haven't seen her since my uncle's funeral 20 years ago. I saw the news, she continues, about what really happened to my husband, your mother. I'm so sorry, I start, but she raises her hand. Don't be, I came to give you this. She pulls out a worn envelope. Your uncle wrote it the day before he died. He knew something was wrong, but couldn't prove it. I open the letter carefully. Inside is a single photograph. Dad and his brother as young men, standing in front of their first office building. On the back, written in faded ink, remember why we started, to help people stand up to bullies. That was their mission, Patricia says softly. Before the money, before your mother's influence. They wanted to protect people who couldn't protect themselves. Sydney stands up. Like what the foundation's doing now? Exactly. I look around the study, at the empty shelves waiting to be filled with new purpose. Dad never forgot that mission. Even at the end, he was trying to expose corruption, protect whistleblowers. The foundation's already received dozens of cases, Sophie adds. People who need help fighting back against corporate abuse. Patricia wipes her eyes. My husband would be proud. Both of them would be. A knock at the door interrupts us. Philip enters, his bruises now faded. The board approved everything. The foundation gets full funding and oversight of corporate ethics. And the employees? I ask. All protected. The company's setting up a fund for those affected by past corruption. I pick up the phishing photo again, running my fingers over Dad's smiling face. You know what he'd say right now? Patience catches the bigger fish, Sophie quotes, making me laugh. Actually, I set the photo on my new desk. He'd say it's time to get to work. Sydney's laptop pings. 3 more whistleblower cases just came in. Then let's get started. I look at the group around me. Sophie, my constant support. Cassandra, who never stopped fighting. Sydney, whose courage sparked change. Philip, who chose redemption. And Patricia, a connection to my family's true legacy. Dad taught me that family isn't just blood, I say. It's the people who stand with you for what's right. Speaking of standing, Cassandra checks her watch. The press is waiting. They want to know about the foundation's first cases. I straighten Dad's photo on my desk. next to the one of him and his brother. Their dream of helping others fight back against corruption lives on, stronger than ever. Let's show them what justice really looks like, I say, leading my new family out to face the world we're about to change.